Hello, everybody. This is BeastSports02 here, and welcome to the first episode of Motorsports 360 here. This is a new weekend race review show, along with a few people, a few friends of mine, who I like to call as panelists. We're going to start off with the guy on my left with the webcam as well, Austin LaPlante. Say hi.
Evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are.
All right. That's us two from YouTube, BeastSports02 and Austin LaPlante. And we also got two of my friends from Quiz Up, and that is Michael25, or as his nickname is, Mike Wazowski. Say hi.
Hello,
Mike
everyone.
was out.
How are we?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. reference.
Alright, we're off to a good start here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And then finally, we've got Nathan Waskiewicz, if I pronounced that right.
Close enough. Hello.
And just to let everybody know, Austin LaPlante is in for Tristan Allen, who is at a rock concert and is probably screaming off the top of his lungs right now.
Loser.
Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's first talk about the format of the show. If any breaking news comes up, we will talk about that. Also, we will recap all the races we had from over the weekend, such as the Cup race, Xfinity truck race, any motorsport races that were going on over the weekend. We will talk about. We will talk about the headlines from the past week in motorsports. We will give some discussion times, which us four debate on what should be the better idea on a specific topic. And finally, we'll do some previews for the races, and we will predict them. Let's first get things started here. We got some breaking news just hours ago from Watkins Glen International in Watkins Glen, New York. Brad Keselowski had a hard wreck during Sprint Cup testing at Watkins Glen. It was on his fifth lap. He crashed hard after the throttle stuck. His brakes failed going into turn one on the newly repaved surface. And let me share the screen right now so I can show you guys the twit pics.
Yeah, I saw that on a race hub when I came back from work. Jeez,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
scary. I saw the photo. So I was like, "Good lord!" And I saw videos like, "Oh my goodness."
Yeah, let's get on Brad Keselowski's Twitter right now and show you guys all the stuff that happened, the results that happened.
Best thing is that he didn't get hurt. That would have been bad if he was out for a couple races, especially with the chase being so close.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty, here's the first report we got here. So anyway, this is the mangled Keselowski car, and as a result, it says he is not doing Facebook Live today. For anyone who's in the stream right now, Julio, I know I saw your chat on Skype. It's not working on the YouTube live stream. Comments will work if you go on, if you're on your browser, I believe, and you go YouTube full site, if I'm correct about that. How the heck do I close out of this one? So anyway, the highs and lows of racing summed up in two pictures. He actually ran the fastest lap going into his fifth lap, and there's actually a GoPro video which you see right now as he heads into turn one. We're playing the audio right now. I'll put it in full screen for you guys.
There goes, and the one is like, "Oh God, no brakes!" And Jimmy Johnson, that's from 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went like through the wall.
The way his head jerked forward when he hit that wall was probably the scariest part of the whole wreck.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have a Brad Keselowski hasn't really had any good luck when it comes to testing at road courses. Because if we all remember, in 2011 at Road Atlanta, he had that scary crash.
Yeah.
And also, this was the result of.
I'm sorry. I seriously thought you said Road America. I was like, no, that's Road Atlanta.
This is
That
actually
always gets me confused right there.
Yeah. And this is actually the steering wheel from Keselowski's race car actually bent up. And okay, and if you guys did not look closely, you guys, if some of you guys might be confused, what did he hit head on? Well, according to a report from NBC Sports NASCAR journalist, oops, I am sorry that I'm still sharing screens. Let me stop sharing that. And that was not NASCAR breaking news there. NBC Sports NASCAR journalist Dustin Long have reported he had a tire barrier that's two rows of tires connected by a cane bolt cable, and then there's an arm cable behind it. So it was kind of reminiscent of Denny Hamlin's crash in 2011. Anyway, that is the breaking news we all know about. Hey, Jake Rogers, I see you, man. Let me see if there's anything else here. And also, if you guys remember, back at Road Atlanta in 2011, Brad Keselowski actually won with a broken ankle at Pocono over the weekend, about a week after the testing incident. Guess what this weekend is, folks? Pocono.
Pocono.
So that could be a big surprise here. Anyway, that's enough of the breaking news. Let's start off with the race recaps. We're first going to recap the the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. All the talk was this weekend. Could Kyle Busch sweep the weekend after he got 2 poles and he had the victory? Well, within 20 laps, he had like a 5 to 6 second lead over second place, which I believe was his teammate.
Carlin.
Also, the top story.
It was Carl.
Yep. Also, the top stories going into the race: Tony Stewart's final Brickyard 400, and this was the first race back for Jeff Gordon, coming back to out of retirement to relieve Dale Earnhardt Jr. while he is out due to the concussion-related symptoms. Anyway,
the storylines
the,
heading into this race were absolutely incredible. Just so many.
Yeah, absolutely. This race was basically a little bit really boring going into the first 120 laps. But then when lap 150 came, caution came out for debris in turn 1. Then the restart came back, and then we had a huge pileup in turn 1 with multiple drivers. Had Carl Edwards, Ryan Newman, Ryan Blaney, Danica Patrick, Brad Keselowski. I'm going to bring this up to you guys. Who do you think had the hardest impact in the crash? We'll go from right to left. This time we'll start with you, Nathan.
That one, I think it was Carl, if I remember right. He hit them all pretty hard.
All right, Michael?
I think so.
I mean, yeah, I have to agree with you, Nathan. Definitely Carl. I mean, not only did he bounce off the wall, but he bounced off of Brad, too, and collected a couple of other cars in the process.
All right, Austin, I know your mic is muted, but if you're still there, oh, he's talking with Dad right now. Okay, so we won't get his opinion. But anyway, as a result, the red flag was out because of that. Then we came back to a yellow flag. Top 3 going into the restart: Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, and Joey Logano. Then the green flag came out for 2 laps to go. This was not the first overtime session. And then the first caution came out. Trevor Bayne and Clint Bowyer tangoed, and Bayne went into the wall. And it looked like from onboards that Trevor Bayne actually thought he was clear down low, and then got into Clint Bowyer. And then the top 3 going into the restart: Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Matt Kenseth this time. We went into NASCAR overtime. It looked like we were about to cross the line, but then Jamie McMurray spun out going into turn 1 after getting turned from Tony Stewart.
I was so sad.
We will be, yeah, I understand, yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good run.
We'll bring that up in a topic later on, discussion time. Mm-hmm. And that means history was made. This was the first NASCAR race we had where double overtime would take place. Top 3 still: Busch, Logano, and Kenseth. And then going into the final lap, Kyle Busch led Kenseth by 1.3 seconds. And then in the 1.5 laps into the double overtime, we saw Kyle Busch had like a 20 car length lead. I think either Michael or Nathan said in the YouTube final lap comments on NASCAR's video. And the top 5, top 5 were Busch, Kenseth, Johnson, Hamlin, and Larson. Stewart finished 11th. Gordon finished 13th. If we look at the race results right now, Kyle Busch actually led 149 out of 170 laps in the race.
Led 91% of the laps this weekend at Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Who else even led laps? I don't remember anyone else ever leading.
Brad. Because they were doing that 3 pit stop strategy.
Oh, yeah. That was it, right?
Yeah, that's what it says right here on NASCAR.com. Other notable finishers, Austin Dillon finished 9th, Paul Menard 10th. Already talked about Stewart and Gordon. Ricky Stenhouse finished 12th, Chris Buescher 14th, Chase Elliott 15th. Landon Castle finished in the top 20. That's all I see right here. It's giving me the top 30 here on NASCAR.com. We're getting a comment right now here on Google Plus. Julio Cesar saying he is calling Toyota now Rig Toyota. Good one. I like that pun. Let's see here. As a result, after that race, a total of 19 drivers finished on the lead lap. That's almost half the field. Anyway, that does it for... Go ahead.
I would say that's pretty surprising considering how dominant Kyle Busch was.
That does it for the Cup Series. Now we're going to move on to the Xfinity Series, the Lilly Diabetes 250 at Indianapolis.
Of course, I missed Cup because my dad was talking to me. Ruined everything. Of course. Sorry.
Anyway, it's fine, man. It's fine. It's our first episode, so we're fine. Anyway, this was the third. Was it? I believe this was the third Dash for Cash race of the season.
Fourth.
This was the fourth one. Okay.
Yep, that's the last one.
So this is the fourth Dash for Cash race. So this means it's the final time we are going to be seeing heat races in the Xfinity Series this season. Both of the heat races. Heat number 1 dominated by Kyle Busch. Heat number 2 dominated by Eric Jones. And then we had for the main event, which was I believe 80 laps.
60 laps.
60 laps? Okay, with
60
about...
laps.
Yep, you're right. With about 10 laps to go, Eric Jones decided to change the sport from NASCAR to Formula Drift. Had a great save in turn 1, but spun that car out, and at least he kept it off the wall. And then we had a restart, and then Ray Black Jr. and Harrison Rhodes spun out. And that means we went into overtime, and Kyle Busch dominated this race from head to toe. As we take a look at the race results here, some notable, rounding out the top 5 was Kevin Harvick, Paul Menard, Kyle Larson, and now we have to talk about the Dash for Cash final lap battle between the Junior Motorsports teammates Justin Allgaier and Elliott Sadler. That was basically the battle for the win, I believe, in my opinion. What were you guys?
I was more
what were you
worried
guys'
about that
thoughts on
race
that?
than Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely. Get some notable finishes here. The other Dash for Cash racers, Daniel Suarez finished 7th, and Eric Jones finished 22nd. Other notable finishers, Jeb Burton driving for the 98 for the first time ever since the 43 teams suspended their operations, finished 12th. Blake Cook 15th, Jeremy Clement 17th, Ryan Sieg, J.J. Yaley, Dakota Armstrong 17th through 20th. And yeah, right. So yeah, 2 cautions, 2 lead changes among 2 drivers. So Kyle Busch was not just the only one who led laps. Brendan Gaughan also led a lap as well, but that was probably due to pit stops.
Mhm.
And anyway, now that we've reviewed that, now we're going to go on to the truck race we had here at Eldora. Everyone probably, in my opinion, my favorite truck race of the year, because this is the only time you see NASCAR run dirt.
Sprint Cup should run dirt. Just saying.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that in another discussion time post. I just thought of it in a little bit, actually. Anyway, let me get the race rundown here from Eldora on my other computer. So anyway, Kyle Larson overcame a 1-lap deficit to win the Aspen Dirt Derby at Eldora on Wednesday. Overall, it was the Kyle and Kyle show over the weekend. Larson actually made a 1-lap comeback because he spun out, and NASCAR thought he intentionally brought out the caution because he had a right rear flat tire. But he was able to hold off Christopher Bell and Rico Abreu, Jake Griffin, how about that, and Tyler Reddick. But everyone was hoping, including me, Bobby Pierce would get this win.
Yep.
What about you guys? Were you guys cheering for Bobby Pierce in that race?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I was more on Larson's side just because of all the bad luck he had been having. He was so close to winning it every single year he competed in it. So was Bobby, but no, I really like Larson. I really wanted him to win.
I should have mentioned this. We only had 2 different leaders in that race, Larson and Bobby Pierce, who actually led the most laps with. He led 102 laps, but
Yeah.
just about 25 laps left. He was trying to do the slide job. I hope Logano donates $22 for that. And hang on, I'll get to that in a moment. Anyway, he tried to do a slide job on Larson, but then he ran up he got up into the wall, and he was done for the day. Finished 25th. Had 9 cautions for 52 laps and 3 lead changes in that race. And we did have a red flag in that race. I believe we had the big one. I believe that's the first time that's ever happened at Eldora.
Lots of chase trucks in that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If I can get on NASCAR.com right now, and I'll look at the chase grid for the truck series, we can see
I
how
think
close
that-
it is.
I think Tyler Reddick has a bigger cushion now than he did going into Eldora last time I checked. But don't quote me on it.
All right.
Quote.
Anyway, the chase grid has William Byron, Matt Crafton, Johnny Sauter, Christopher Bell, John Nemechek. Those drivers, they are all locked in. They're on the bubble right now. Daniel Hemrick, Timothy Peters, Tyler Reddick, and then if we get to the driver standings, I can see who else is on the bubble, who is below the cutoff. So you're below Tyler Reddick. Ben Kennedy right now, who's actually driving for multiple teams so far this season. He is actually first below the cutoff, then Cameron Haley, Cole Custer, and Ben Rhodes. So now, with the few races we have remaining before going into the chase, who do you guys see filling up these final spots? We'll start with you, Austin.
Cole Custer, one of them. Timothy Peters. There's one other driver. I can't think of him right now. I think only those two will get in with wins. I don't know who will get in on points.
Okay. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, same thing. Peters and Bell are going to get a win.
Bell's already in.
Oh, Bell's in?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has a win.
He has a win?
Yeah, he won
Alright,
a
forgot
gateway.
about that. Oh, that's right.
Uh,
My bad. Then probably Daniel Hemrick and
that's the
Tyler
other one.
Reddick are going to get it on points.
All right. Nathan, what about you?
I think Bell will probably get a win. Peters, maybe Reddick, and there's 4 spots, right? Still open?
Yeah.
Three.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, there's 3.
those 3. And then, who else is there? Like Hemrick, maybe? Or Kennedy. Hemrick or Kennedy.
Okay. All right, now we've moved. Let's move on from the trucks. Now we're gonna review the ARCA race we had Friday night at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. Chase Briscoe dominated this race, 3 in a row for him, as he won Friday night. Won by I believe about 12 seconds. We actually had a 30-minute red flag there. 5-car crash that happened in turn 2 with Dalton Sargent, Ray Cicerelli, Brittany Boswell, Justin Haley, and Dylan Martin. All those drivers were okay, by the way. But then the battle for second was on there between Travis Miller, who was making its ARCA debut, and then Myatt Snyder, who, if you guys actually don't know him, it's actually NBC pit reporter Marty Snyder's son.
Yep.
Yeah, and he actually
Good guy.
did pretty good. Yeah, but I believe Miller passed him, finished second, but 10 seconds away, Chase Briscoe dominated. Do you guys think Briscoe get his 4th in a row this weekend?
No. We don't even know who's driving. Who else is driving? Any Cup drivers driving?
I can look right now because I'm on the ARCA site and I can look up the entry list for you guys right now.
They're at Pocono this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Sprint Cup and trucks.
Mhm.
And
Didn't-
and Xfinity's at Iowa.
Let's take a look here. John West Townley back in the 05 this weekend. We'll talk about that
Finally.
in a little bit. Christopher Bell in the 15. Let's see who else here. Nope, that's the only 2 truck drivers who are racing in ARCA this weekend.
I'm shocked now. John West Townley's going to win that one.
Alrighty, and then let's move on here. I'm guessing a lot of you people probably did not watch this race, but we're going to talk about NHRA at Vandermeer Speedway in Denver now. History was made as this is the first NHRA race in history to be televised live on a national broadcast network, which was Fox. I actually decided to watch this race when Kyle Busch was leading like 15 laps into the race. I had it on TiVo, so I decided to turn that on. But anyway, the Pro Stocks. First time this season a Summit Racing car did not win. Alan Johnson took home the Wally in Pro Stock. Andrew Hines, again, dominated in Pro Stock Motorcycle along with Krawick as they were in the finals. Funny car, it was a father-daughter duo once again. John Force versus Courtney Force. And John got it, but it was really close at the line. I thought Courtney had a hole shot there for a brief moment. And then top four, it was Don Schumacher Racing teammates Tony Schumacher and Tron Brown battling, and Tony Schumacher got his first win in a year. Anyway, race recaps are complete. Let's move on to the headlines. In case you just joined us, and you probably have already heard about this on NASCAR Race Hub and NASCAR America, but we all know Brad Keselowski involved in a scary crash in testing at Watkins Glen International after the brakes failed going into turn 1 on the newly repaved course. Keselowski was okay for the infield care center, and this car was like destroyed. If you go on Brad Keselowski's story, we're not going to show it though. We already showed it earlier in the show, but that front end was destroyed big time. Like, this was kind of similar to his Road to Atlanta crash. Steering wheel was all bent up. This was like a 90 miles an hour impact into the tire barrier in turn number 1. But luckily he was okay, and I believe he will be able to race at Pocono this weekend. Anyway, moving on from that. New crew chief for the 27 of Palmera, Danny Stockman. All of you guys might know him as crew chief for Austin Dillon when he won the Truck Series Championship in 2011 and when it was the Nationwide Series in 2013. Replaces Justin Alexander. This is going to be his first race this weekend with the team. Okay. Trying to think here what else I want to say about this because we're on J-Ski right now. Right now, Menard is its 23rd in the championship point standings. This does not include the chase grid, but I believe Danny Stockman said that this will, without him as the crew chief, this will improve the performance of the race car. Dakota Armstrong will be driving the number 18 in the Xfinity Series race this weekend at Iowa. He will be, he will be replacing Matt Tifft, who, as everyone probably knows already, has been out because of the brain tumor that he got removed. As a result, people are wondering who's going to be driving the number 28. Drew Herring will be driving the 28. And also, another notable entry this weekend, Josh Berry. You guys might remember him from the Xfinity Series race at Richmond the past few years. He will be driving in his first start this season in Iowa. And it should be interesting. We actually have 41 drivers entered for this weekend's race, I believe. And 97 and 77, that's the Obika team. They have 2 drivers fielded in for this race. This was breaking news coming up. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I thought Sam Hornish was driving too. Was he in the 2 car? I thought I saw that on the entry list.
Yes, Sam Hornish Jr. will be racing this weekend for Richard Childress.
That's pretty strange right there. He goes to Toyota to a Chevy. I find that a little crazy right there.
Anything you can do to race.
Yeah, exactly.
We only have one Cup driver, and that's going to be racing in the Xfinity Series race. Brad Keselowski. He raced in the Iowa race.
Well, he's not racing trucks because he's got 2 teams full.
Yeah, or else he could have driven
trucks,
2.
I'd be like, turn off channel.
Yeah. So anyway, going back to our breaking news that broke out on Monday, Stuart Haas Racing will be fielding an Xfinity Series team in 2017. They will have a 1-driver Ford Mustang team that is expected to be a driver development team. We will go into later detail on who we think is going to be driving that.
I forgot they were doing the Fords since they're switching the Fords next season.
Yes, definitely. Um,
That
we
could-
actually Monday on Dale Jr.'s Dirty Mo Radio podcast, we got an update on his health. As you all know, he is suffering from concussion-like symptoms. He's been out for the past 2 races from New Hampshire and Indianapolis. That is not what I wanted. That was the wrong article. According to what he said he does about two to 2.5 hours of rehab every day. So that means as he is taking this concussion process slowly but steadily. And he actually said that this process is going to take a little bit longer. So that could be an interesting. We'll go more into that story a little bit later on. He is going to give us an update next week on his show before the Watkins Glen race, and whatever update we give you for that, we will update you that as soon as possible. And John West Townley, he is going to be making his return this weekend to Pocono. John West Townley will be raced in both the ARCA Series Mod Space 150 and the Pocono Mountains 150 in the Truck Series. He is coming off from the concussion symptoms he suffered at Gateway Motorsports Park. That involved the WWE brawl with Spencer Gallagher.
Still crazy. Still
Yeah.
crazy.
I call that fight of the year.
Fight in history.
Better than any UFC fight, in my opinion.
10 out of 10.
Anyway, everyone, now we're going to what I'm going to call one of my favorite segments on the show, discussion time. If any of you guys follow me on QuizUp, Marty C is my name on QuizUp. I do discussion times all the time on the NASCAR topic. So we're going to get started. I'm going to give you guys a bunch of questions. I'm going to give you guys some answers and my opinion as well. It's going to be like a debate, kind of. So let's start things off with this. We got the news on Monday. Stewart Haas Racing would be fielding the Xfinity car. Who do you guys think is going to be driving this car, and what will the sponsor be? We're going to start off with you, Austin.
I'm sorry, you're a little laggy on my end. Say the important things one more time. I'm listening.
Who do you think is going to field the Stewart Haas Racing Xfinity car, and what do you think will the sponsor be?
Oh boy. It's making now. Who drives Fords back then? Fords now. You know, I'm gonna go for a crazy thing. I'm gonna crazily say Daniel Hemrick. Thinking maybe going to trucks to Xfinity. I think it may be the same sponsor he's running right now, Xfinity. I forgot what the name of it is.
California Clean Power?
That could be it right there. That could be an interesting paint scheme if he's going there. That's for my pick, Daniel Hemrick.
All right, Michael, what do you think next?
I'm gonna go with Tyler Reddick. He's been driving in the Truck Series for a few years, and I think he's gotten to the point where he deserves to move up into the Xfinity Series. I think he's got the talent to do it and to challenge those Joe Gibbs cars. And sponsor-wise, I'm gonna go with Haas. I mean, Stewart Haas Racing. Haas sponsors 2 of the cars in the Sprint Cup Series, so why not?
Alrighty, all right, Nathan.
I think RP5353 mentioned this on QuizUp, but Cole Custer from the Truck Series, and I had a couple that were down to like maybe Jeb Burton. He's been kind of out of a ride, but maybe like he looked pretty good in the race this weekend. Maybe like Sam Hornish, or I thought Alex Bowman. You just thought a lot of the guys I thought that didn't really have a ride. Maybe even Brian Vickers. I know he drove for them in the past, but they did say it was like a development program, so probably not like Hornish or Vickers, but.
They started the Xfinity team mainly just to have development drivers for their Sprint Cup rides in the future.
Yeah.
So Brian Vickers and Sam Hornish, they're developed.
Probably not.
They just don't really have rides right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, I will give you my take on this. I was actually thinking it was gonna be one of those drivers with the Haas sponsorship. I was thinking Cole Custer at first, but then Tristan actually gave this because I'm gonna tell you guys what he thought a little after I tell you guys my point. He actually thought it would be. Do you guys remember Nick Drake from the Truck Series? Remember that one race he drove for Junior Motorsports in the 49 with the Haas sponsorship? Yep.
Oh,
that might be an upset there. He might be getting this ride in the Xfinity Series instantly. Because we all remember, we've had part-time truck drivers go full-time in the Xfinity Series like we did with Garrett Smithley. And then he was mainly thinking, he was probably hoping that John Hunter Nemechek would be taking the ride. But I'm not too sure about that. Anyway, moving on here. Okay, so anyway, over the weekend we had the Brickyard 400. A lot of people liked it, the race. The Brickyard 400 is one of the most prestigious races of the season. Or is it? That's the question. We're going to start off with you, Michael.
Well, okay. So I saw this statistic on Twitter, and a guy said that Indianapolis can seat 300,000 people. Approximately 55,000 bought tickets for the race. Granted, it was 93 degrees and the humidity was 110 or something like that. But this is Indianapolis. We should have over 100,000 coming to this race.
All right, Nathan.
I feel like it used to be when it first came into NASCAR because it was like a big deal. But now I think it's kind of lost its prestige, basically because of like Mike said, the attendance is going down, and like Kyle Busch just dominated this weekend, and it was hot. Like people that might deter people from going, stuff like that.
All right, Austin.
I'm going to agree with all of you. I think it's going to be now the Daytona 500 now because I saw a photo of the Indianapolis 500 from this year, then Brickyard 400. Oh my goodness, so many empty seats. I could not believe it. My jaw dropped. I was shocked, disappointed. Yeah, I think Brickyard 400 is not like a famous race anymore. I'm still thinking Daytona 500. Maybe the Coke Zero 400. Hopefully it's not a lot of commercials next year. And but potentially both Talladega races as well, as long as Penske doesn't win it. So yeah, Brickyard 400, it's all done.
That's kind of
It's
depressing,
over
though,
now.
that NASCAR's most prestigious races are going to come down to plate tracks. I mean, I kind of feel like that we should be having more prestige at certain races, like maybe Las Vegas or something like that. You know, we need to be getting more fans into the crowd, into the bleachers on Sundays.
Absolutely, I agree with you, all three of you guys big time, definitely on that because of the attendance we had. Anyway, we're going to move on to our next topic about Dale Jr. Now, we all remember, I just told you guys, this process is going to take a little bit longer. Do you guys think he will be out for a few more races? And if he does come back before the chase begins, do you guys he has a chance at winning? Because we all know he's not going to make the chase based on points. Gonna start with you, Nathan.
If he gets back before the start of the chase, he might be able to win. Like I'm thinking, like he's good at Richmond, but that'd be like a last chance kind of thing. But the fact that he's been out for so long, like by that time, he might not be able to come back and win right away.
All right, Austin.
I'm just getting the schedule up right now on NASCAR.com and see what the races there are left. You mentioned Richmond. Now that's probably his best chance. He won back in
2006.
Six? I thought it was 2005 for some reason.
No, it was 2006.
It's been that far back. If he's back before Michigan, that's his second chance. Otherwise, he's definitely not racing Pocono. Even I did see him win in 2014, swept both races, which was pretty amazing. It's going to either be Michigan or Richmond. He may win. Darlington, I don't see that happening. Or Bristol. All depending on when he's coming back, though.
Mm-hmm. All right, Michael.
I personally believe that Dale is going to come back at Bristol. That's going to be just a little bit of a warm-up for him to get back into the process of driving these cars, and then he's going to come to Michigan, dominate the weekend, win the race, be back in the chase. Don't even have to worry about Darlington or Richmond.
All right, let's move on to our next topic. So anyway, Kyle Busch won the Brickyard 400, as we all know, on Sunday. Do you guys think he will win the championship? Because there's an interesting stat I just found by using RacingReference.com and NASCAR.com. 9 out of 22 winners that won the Brickyard race in the same year won the Cup Series championship. I'm going to start off with Austin this time.
Well, he won it last year, even though he started like at Charlotte, and then somehow he rigged it and won the championship. It's not going to happen again. No way. It's not going to happen again. He's going to make it to the Final Four, but he's not going to win this championship. It's definitely going to be, I hope it's going to be a Hendrick Chevy who's going to win it. I'm not going to say Johnson, but I hope it's, like, let's say Chase Elliott. But no, Kyle will not win the
A
championship.
rookie winning the championship.
Yeah,
That's a bold
Watch
statement.
it. Watch it. It will happen. It will happen.
All right. We'll go with Michael.
I mean, so much can happen between now and the chase. He could have a couple of bad races and completely lose his momentum. Or he could just continue it into the chase, absolutely dominate and win the championship again. But so much can happen that I really think it's too early to tell now.
Excuse me, guys. All right, Nathan.
I think he'll get to the Final Four, but the last race, like to win like one race, for it to come down to one race, it would be hard for him to do that again. But I think it'll be one of the Gibbs guys, but maybe not him.
Real quick, if he's going to make it to the Final Four, I think he has to make it through Talladega. If he can make it through Talladega, I think he'll definitely be in the Final Four.
Yes, that's the crucial race this year. And of course, next year they put it the second race in the second round. Kansas is the last one.
Yeah, I don't
That
think
round.
Kansas is a bubble as a final race. So I like Talladega.
Yeah, the pavement's still new-ish.
Yeah.
I think that was too much of like a unknown to have that as the last race, because it was like, I think one year, for the first year they had it in this format, like Kyle Busch was like 20 points to the good going into it, and then he missed the cutoff because he got in a wreck. So I think it's just.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Kansas
Right
City
now,
was
okay.
So.
All right, I want to get the audience thoughts on this right now on the YouTube comments. On the live stream, if I can do my copy and pasting well on here. Let me do that right now. I am copying and pasting a straw poll. We'll do like a Fox Sports live poll, and then after the discussion time is complete, we'll get you guys the results. You heard what the panel thought. Now, okay, the link is in the YouTube comments right now. It's strawpro.me/10842703. So I'll get you guys' votes in a little bit after that one. We're going to move on to the next topic right now. Okay, so we all saw before we had double overtime, Jamie McMurray got into Tony Stewart as they entered turn one. And you saw on Jeff Gordon's onboard Tony Stewart get into McMurray's quarter panel. I'm going to ask you guys this. Do you guys think Jamie McMurray did that on purpose? Because we all know that Kyle Busch was on pit road strategy. Do you guys think that was on purpose so Kyle could run out of gas? We're going to start off with Nathan this time.
I hope it's not on purpose. I don't think it was, but I was very upset that he wrecked. I don't think at that point I didn't really care about Kyle Busch. I was just he was having such a good run, and he was like, he got a lot of points on Junior and Larson, Blaney, and then he got caught from that. I was very upset, but I don't think it was on purpose.
All right, Mike.
Do you guys remember where Jamie was running at the time of the wreck?
12th.
12th?
Yeah, he's right. It's 12th. I just looked.
I don't think he would have been concerned with Kyle Busch, and I think wrecking would be the last thing he'd want to do. Because he'd want to get as many points as possible so that he doesn't have to worry about that 16th and 17th spot for the chase. I think that was more in his mind than, oh, I got to make sure Kyle Busch doesn't win this race. I really don't think he would be thinking like that.
All right. Okay, I believe I got everybody. Okay, Austin.
I was like, no, you haven't got me yet. I'm just watching a quick video on YouTube, and I'm trying to go to the slowest motion possible. I'm trying to get a good view of it. I mean, I'm seeing. He thought he was clear, and he tries to go down and try to get in front of Tony Stewart, but no, just wasn't close. I 100% do nothing was intentional. Without a doubt, he was just trying to get in a hole that wasn't there. If that was intentional, he would be like at his right rear. In relation to Stewart's car, this is like his front bumper. This is right rear. If he went like that, I consider that intentional. But it was more like right up here. This is his back bumper, and he tried to go down, and he tried to get into the hole that wasn't there. So I don't think it was intentional. That's what I think.
Good point,
I
Austin.
know I tried to really confuse you guys with with my hand gestures, but
No.
that's what I'm looking at the replay right now.
Yeah, no, you have a very good point. You have a very good point.
Alrighty, okay, let's move on to our next topic here. I saw in the YouTube comments, especially myself, when NASCAR uploaded the final laps video, we had, last time I checked, there were more dislikes than likes, and a lot of people were saying he's cheating. So, did Kyle Busch cheat in this race? Michael, we're starting off with you.
Sorry.
I don't think he cheated. I think NASCAR would have been smarter than that. They would have caught that when he was going through tech inspection. Okay, look, Joe Gibbs is just going through their stage of dominance right now. It was the same thing with Hendrick Motorsports in the early 2000s. I sound like Kyle Petty right now, I know. But
That's
my
incredible.
favorite driver is Jimmy Johnson, so I would know.
I'm sorry.
You know,
Continue on.
Joe Gibbs just found something a little extra from everyone else. They're just going through their stage of dominance, and Kyle Busch right now is their most dominant car. He's found something even more. I really don't think he was cheating. If he was cheating, he'd be winning all the races and be finishing in the top 3 all the time.
I'll go with Austin.
What about Matt Kenseth's
When he failed laser inspection after New
Yeah,
Hampshire?
I was going to get there. I forgot what it was. So do you still? I'm not sure to consider that cheating at all. I don't think I wasn't cheating at all. But if y'all remember, I remember seeing it on a documentary or a special something about Richard Petty's 199 win and something going on. Do y'all remember that? Do you remember seeing that in a video? I don't remember.
Yeah, that was on the 10. It was on the 10.
Oh yeah, I
that.
also remember that when actually speed was actually good and was actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that may be considered cheating right there.
Definitely.
Yeah, and so I think it was Jeff Aaron said, oh, he only after he got his 200 win at the 1984 Firestone 400. No, that was just only 199, and that was it. Yeah, I consider that cheating. Kyle Busch dominating, that's not cheating, unless they saw something in the car. And I do believe, I think tomorrow, NASCAR will give us an post-race. Any post-race penalties like tomorrow, and we'll probably see that on Race Hub 5 on Fox Sports 1.
It was supposed to be today because today's Tuesday, so...
It was? I seriously don't
Yeah,
remember that.
Yeah, they always do
Wednesday has any
penalties
penalties that I might know?
Nope, I didn't see anything. I saw on
That's
Fox's
where I got confused when I do.
I saw on Bob
when I remember
Pappas' Twitter
stuff.
I saw on Bob Pappas' Twitter that everyone passed inspection 20 and 18 was sent to the R&D Center for another Monday inspection, and they were clean, so... Anyway, let's go to Nathan now. What were your thoughts?
Well, I think he obviously wasn't cheating because I guess they found no problem with his car today, but I think I'm starting to become an engineer, hopefully an engineer in NASCAR one day, but like it's just not, and you don't see that often, how like dominant he was, not just like in the amount of laps he led, just like how fast he was in the restart and stuff like that. And JGR must know something that no one else does, because they had like 3 of the 4 guys in the top 5 at the end there, and Carl had wrecked and he was in the top 5. So it must have had some kind of setup that they had found that just was really unique to everyone else's.
Alright, let's move on to our next topic. Everyone would probably... Austin, what just happened?
I just need to move on to my iPad now. I need a race.
Oh, okay. Anyway, let's move on to our next topic here. Everyone would probably agree with me here. Should NASCAR ban all Cup drivers from lower tier series? I'm going to start off with myself. Definitely. Because it's just so unfair for the development drivers that are racing. They're not even racing for wins anymore. They're just racing for points, in my opinion. I mean, because they should be racing for wins, like Eric Jones. Because if you win, you get into the chase, definitely. So anyway, let's go to Austin first. Is he setting his iPad up?
Maybe we should go to Nathan and give Austin a second.
Yeah, let's go to Nathan.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's go to Nathan.
I think they should ban them from the lower series, but I don't think they will because it brings in probably more viewers and more people to the races. But if they didn't ban them, at least put some kind of like restriction on them, like the amount of races they can run, how many of them could be in the races. Like this weekend, there was like the top four were all Sprint Cup guys, and then there was even more who weren't even in the top 4 or 5. But at least like maximum 1 or 2 guys, maybe like maximum 10 races a year or even less if they do keep them in the series.
All right, and just to let you guys know, for the audience, I already did create a live poll for this one as well. It's a straw poll site. Number is 108-427-45. So get answering. We will do the results at the end of the discussion time. Now we'll go to Austin now.
Oh, you said my name? Okay.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay. Yes, Phantom, no matter what. Who cares about viewers? These drivers need to get more experience, and they're not going to get more experience if the darn Cup drivers will basically ruin the whole fun of the whole series. So even though, yes, you're not going to get a lot of viewers, yes, you're probably not going to get a lot of people in the stands, but I do believe they need to remove the Cup drivers from the lower series. The drivers who are running there full time need to get better experience racing to each other instead of Cup driver and more Cup drivers around him, and then he'll be, yeah, that's me.
All right, Michael.
Yeah, they need to get the Cup guys out of the Xfinity Series. I mean, you see the commercials for the Xfinity Series. It says names are made here.
Absolutely.
How are you supposed to make your name known to everyone if the Cup guys are just dominating the race week in and week out? Unless they're at Iowa or road course or something, you know? That the Cup guys
Yeah, because the only guys that are doing that right now are Eric Jones and Daniel Suarez.
Yeah, I mean, and they're with Joe Gibbs. So, again, it's the thing with Joe Gibbs dominating, but that's a whole nother story. Yeah, I mean, how are they going to get rides in the Cup Series if the Cup drivers are just taking all the fame and all the glory? I bet you if you take the Cup guys out and you leave the Xfinity drivers to just drive for themselves, they'll show what they can truly do, and you'll get even more people in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
All right, one more discussion time question. I do have a bunch more, but we are almost out of time for them. So anyway, I want to ask you guys this. What if NASCAR created fixed and equal setups? What do you guys think? We're going to start off with Michael this time.
Whoa, that's a interesting question. Fixed and equal setups. Well, everyone would kind of run the same. You wouldn't really be able to truly tell who is better. But then again, it would just come down to the skill of the drivers to determine who truly was the best in the Sprint Cup Series. And the drivers are always talking about how they want to drive the cars with the slower downforce package. They want to be able to drive the cars. They want to be able to show their stuff. So it has its positives and negatives.
All right, Nathan.
That would definitely bring it down just to like the skill of the drivers, but that would erase the whole like team element of it, like the engineering that goes behind it, the crew, like the crew chief, the pit crew would still be relevant, but like the whole team behind the setup would
The
kind of
guys
be
back
gone.
at the shop. Good point.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and finally, Austin.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little close up. Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. A league race for NR 2003 that is fixed setup. A fixed setup. That means everyone has an equal chance. I'm seriously thinking. I honestly don't think that's really a good idea. I mean, of course, this is just a game that I'm doing right now, but what they're doing out there is realistic, and I think they should have the option of any adjustments they should make to their car. I mean, forcing teams to drive at the same time may not be fun, as I think who said that it's like it's all depends on the driver and see who can get better for the corners and who can drive better. Is that Nathan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe so. I'm not too sure. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Anyway, we're finished with discussion time. Let's get to the results. No one actually voted on the ban the Cup drivers because I don't know why. But we had people, but 100% though said that Kyle Busch will make the round of 8, but will not make the final 4.
Hey, they agree with me. What I tell you,
That guy is correct.
I'm very convincing.
If one gives drivers continue to the final 4, Carl Edwards, cousin Carl.
Yeah, I think this is Carl's year. I really do.
All right,
Yes.
guys. Let's go on to the previews for the race. We're gonna go in order. First off, we're gonna start off with the Xfinity Series race. This is the U.S. Cellular 250 at Iowa, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on NBCSN. What are you guys expecting for this race? We'll start off with Austin.
Ooh, with it's only Brad Wazowski running. Just want to make sure.
Yes, only Brad Keselowski, the
yeah.
only Cup driver running.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. For some reason, I'm lagging for something because I'm on my iPad.
Oh, that's fine. I understand.
Even though he won the debut race in 2009. Of course, it was under a different car. It's probably not going to happen. So you're going to be like Eric Jones or Daniel Suarez, any of the Gibbs drivers.
Alrighty, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Gibbs drivers are going to go down to Iowa and really dominate, but I think it's going to come down to pit strategy at the end, and I'm going to say Justin Allgaier is your winner. Gets into the chase.
Alright, finally Nathan.
He did it a few weeks ago. I think Sam Hornish will win again. I think he really needs to prove himself. He wants to get a full-time ride next year.
Alright. By the way, just to let you guys know, Nathan and Mike, Boss302 was the only one who voted.
Oh.
Thank you for revealing your identity, random voter.
Thank you.
Anyway, let's move on to the next race here. We've got the, I already went on a day here, but let's go to ARCA now. The Mod Space 150 at Pocono, 5:30 Eastern Time, Friday night on FS1. Thoughts on this? We'll start off with Mike.
Chase Briscoe goes 4 in a row. I'm calling it. He's got so much momentum, I don't know how he could break it now unless there's a pit road speeding penalty or something like that.
Alrighty, Nathan.
I don't really watch ARCA, but I'll go with John West Townley. Yeah.
Alright, and Austin.
Yep, I'm agreeing with John West Talling right there. John West Talling. I'm not sure. Didn't have any reasons. I thought there was someone else running that I know, but that's the only guy I know who's also running SOAR full time. But that's why I'm going John West Talling.
Alright, let's go on and do the trucks now. We've got the Pocono Mountains 150 at Pocono, Saturday, 1 Eastern Time on FS1. Let's start off with Nathan. What are you expecting?
Maybe I don't really know who could win there. Do they race there in the spring or like a few weeks ago?
No, they don't. They don't.
No.
No, they didn't race in the spring.
I don't really know what to expect. Maybe who won? Do you know who won last year?
Last year? I can look right now. I can get.
One car. He won last
I can get on. Yeah, I believe he did. I can get on racingreference.info and confirm it.
I saw a replay of the finish yesterday. It was Kyle Busch.
Oh. That's
We did?
surprised.
Okay.
Is he not running this week?
No, he's not ready.
He's not. Cody
Just the
Kaufman is
Cup.
in the 31.
Already, Austin.
Now, is Cody Coughlin running? If he is, I'm going with him if he's running there and not Iowa. If he is running, if not,
Cody Kaufman is running.
if not, I'm going to say Christopher Bell.
Alrighty, and Michael.
I'm going to say William Byron and Matt Craffen dominate the early stages of the race, but near the end we're probably going to have a couple of wrecks and take out some people. But I'm going to say Matt Crafton comes out of your winner between him and William Byron.
Alrighty. Nice, guys, nice. Alright, let's go to our next preview here. Not gonna go. I was gonna do Formula One, but we think we all know who's got this. Not McLaren, Mercedes. McLaren was back in
I
2007.
haven't seen this recent Sunday's race, and you still need to watch that. But I could think I have tomorrow off.
Yep. Anyway, let's go to the Cup Series race, the Pennsylvania 400, Sunday 1:30 Eastern Time on NBCSN. I'm gonna start off here this time. Let's see, who do we have? We're gonna start off with Austin. Thoughts on this?
I'm going to say Denny Hamlin. 10 years ago, he swept both races as a rookie. And I think 10 years later, he's going to win this race. Denny Hamlin.
Alrighty, Michael.
Martin Truex Jr. won the spring race last year. I say he ends his streak of bad races, and he goes back to victory lane in Pocono.
Alrighty, Nathan.
I think Brad Keselowski will do what he did 5 years ago. He's gonna win after his bad wreck in testing this week.
Alrighty, I got two more for you guys here. We've got the IndyCar race, the Honda Indy 200 at Mid-Ohio, 2 o'clock Eastern Time on CNBC. Mike, thoughts on this?
Who won last year?
I can look right now. I'm on Racing Reference right now.
I watched
Dixon,
that
I
race,
think.
but I don't
I think it
remember
was
who
Scott
won.
Dixon.
I think it was Scott Dixon.
Yeah.
Let's look here. 2015. Let's see, Mid-Ohio. It was Graham Rahal. Rahal won. Yeah, Graham Rahal won. Mm-hmm.
Must have been. I'm still going to say Scott Dixon. Sorry. If it was something early.
Who are you picking, Mike?
I'll go with Juan Pablo Montoya. I don't know why.
To hit the jet dry or to win the race? I'm just kidding. Alrighty, and Nathan.
I'm gonna say willpower.
Ooh, good choice.
Alright, one more for you guys. Something you guys can also watch in case the Cup Series race gets boring. NHRA at Sonoma, 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
I'm not going to say anything.
Fox. Alright, I'll just say it. Top Fuel, I'm going to go Antron, Funny Car. Let's see. Funny Car, Jack Beckman. Pro Stock, Jason Line. And Bikes, I am going to go with Eddie Krawick this time.
One of the Force family drivers. Yeah, we'll go with that because
Just
I have.
enjoying my spin fan.
Alrighty, so anyway, just to recap the schedule for this weekend in case you guys have just joined us. We got Friday night, the ARCA Series race at Pocono, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, FS1. Then we've got for Saturday, Camping World Truck Series at Pocono, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on FS1. Xfinity Series race at Iowa, 8 o'clock Eastern Time and NBCSN. Sunday morning, Formula One, 7:30 a.m. at Hockenheimring on NBCSN. That is Eastern Time once again. We got the Cup Series at Pocono, 1:30 on NBCSN. IndyCar at Mid-Ohio, 2 p.m. on CNBC. And then NHRA at Sonoma, 4 p.m. on Fox. So that's going to do it for this first episode of Motorsports 360. To all of you who watched, thank you all for watching. To all who commented and voted on the polls, thank you all for watching. And that does it. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. And by the way, if any breaking news breaks out, we'll do like a special report, like huge breaking news, I mean. So it's going to do it. Thank you all for watching. YOLO strike. Bye, guys. We're out. Say bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Thanks
Bye.
for watching.
All right. Later, guys. Peace.